everybody and welcome to my August wrap-up. August was the month where I had kind of like the highest concentration of tests and SACs and exams, so I wasn't really expecting to get a lot read this month, but I was kind of pleasantly surprised with how much I actually did get read. So in August I managed to read 7 books, which I think is pretty fantastic, which was almost, what, 2 books a week-ish for the month of August, which was pretty impressive. I'm really proud of myself, and I will talk about what I want to read more in September, because September is going to be pretty crappy as well. But I managed to take a massive chunk out of my TBR pile, which is fantastic. I've got like heaps of books which I had been keeping on my shelf for ages. I read them and they were all fantastic and I was really excited. So let me show you the books I read. The first book I read was The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye, and I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. I love Russia, I love anything Russian, and I love the idea of this book for something that was so rich in plot and detail. It was done in a surprisingly short amount of space. Like, the book is only like 300 and something, 400 pages-ish. Like, it's not that big. Wait, how big is it? It's only around 400 pages, which isn't that big of a book, and normally trying to fit that much information into such a small amount of space would just confuse the hell out of me, but it didn't. My dog's trying to get into my room. No! Normally something done in this short amount of space would confuse the hell out of me, which it didn't, which I was really happy about, because oh, this book was amazing. I also really loved Vika and Nikolai, and I can't wait to see what happens in the second book, because this book ended on such a cliffhanger and I need those two to have happiness. Next, I read The Conspiracy of Us and Map of Fate, both by Maggie Hall. These are the first 2 books in the Conspiracy of Us trilogy. Book number 3 is due to come out next year, and I was supposed to be waiting to marathon the whole series, but I didn't. Okay, so I'm going to point this out right here. I really hate love triangles. I don't know why. I just never really liked them. Actually, I don't even like, I hated them so much, and I hate reading about love triangles. I need to find out who the person ends up with before I start reading the trilogy, and of course, I don't have the complete trilogy. The last book hasn't even been released yet, but you can kind of tell who she's going to end up with. So I'm going to try and phrase this review with no spoilers. Honestly, Jack needs to fuck the fuck off. The lack of chemistry between him and Avery made it painful. Honestly painful. The first book took a while to really get going for me because it was just Jack and Avery, and they just pissed me off because there was nothing there. It was like, I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it. It was the most uncomfortable relationship for me to ever read with my own 2 eyes. Meanwhile, there is Stellan, who is probably the best character in this whole series. I love him. Stellan and Luke I love so much, and I really ship Stellan and Avery. Like, I ship them so much, more than stupid Jack. I hate Jack. Oh my god. The next not really book I read was Saga Volume 5 by Fiona Staples and Brian K. Vaughan. This series is fantastic. It just keeps getting better and better and better, and I cannot wait to see what happens in, like, as the story goes on, because Hazel is getting older and older and older, and I think she is like 5 years old or 6 years old in volume 6, which I have not yet read, and I cannot wait to read it, but I don't want to read it. That means I'm gonna have to wait for volume 7, and I don't want to wait. I really don't want to wait. The next book I read was The Fixer and The Long Game, both by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and this is a complete duology. I'm honestly breathless after reading it. It was honestly a 5 out of 5 star series to me. I loved it so much. The anticipation and the the dynamic between all the characters was fantastic, and all the twists I just did not see coming. The first book, I was mind blown, and the second book, like 10 times more so. And what was funny was that there was barely any romance in the first book, and normally I really enjoy romance in my young adult. I don't know why, I just really enjoy romance. But like, there was barely any romance, and I was okay with that. I was okay Tess not ending up with someone, although I did kind of ship her a bit with Asher, but they made an A+ platonic friendship. Honestly, A+, kudos to Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Tell you who I did ship though, Adam and Ivy. They weren't even the main characters, and minus everything that's happened if you have read the series, they are absolutely fantastic. I love them, and there was no like romance there. There was just kind of like this companionship, and I was like, no, you've got to end up together. But there was nothing necessarily established at the end of book 2, and I'm really hoping that we get even just a novella in this series, because oh my god, it is amazing. And to be honest, I would buy like a 500-page book just filled with fluff about Ivy, Adam and Tess. Just the 3 of them. And Bodhi, I don't know, just hanging around the house the whole day. I would honestly read that. That would be my dream come true. And the last complete book I read in August was Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson, and I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was so close to being a 5-star book, but something just fell short for me and I don't know what it was. Like, I've been racking my brain, being like, did it have a good romance? Yes. Does it have a good like plot? Yes. Good characters? Yes. I don't know what it is, but I just can't bring myself to give it 5 out of 5 stars. This book hits so close to home though, because in 2013 my grandmother passed away from pancreatic cancer, and pancreatic cancer is the same cancer that Taylor's father had, and it acts very quickly. We found out that my grandmother had cancer in like March, and she died on the 15th of April. We literally only had a couple weeks between finding out and her passing away, and it is savage. And this book hits so close to home, and normally I don't like reading books that hit really close to home for me. I don't like reading books about cancer, about depression, nothing, but I love this book because I know what Taylor was going through, and I understood what her family was going through, because my grandmother was the one who raised me, and she was the one who made me who I am today, which is kind of like an annoying little shit, but we get it. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you have a great day, and I will very hopefully have another video up for you later.